looking at this team specifically, Monty talks about the 20-game mark as a chance to kind of evaluate. I know that's difficult with the injuries that you guys have had, but what have you seen from this group so far?
Man, this team's special. Like there aren't any challenges that are daunting to us. If it's injury, if it's external situations, external factors, if it's back-to-backs, tough 1-point losses, they don't affect our psyche. Our guys all come in, they work, and they show up in big moments. And so I'm proud of this team, just because I know these guys. I get a chance to see them every day. They don't get a chance to display their grit and their resiliency, but they've been able to do it over the first 20 games, and we've been better for it.
Would you hire a general manager?
I'm not focused on that right now. I mean, if that happens, it happens. But for me right now, it's getting us to the All-Star break.
So you don't see any personnel shifts at this point?
No, I don't. Not right now.
And what's going on with Crowder? Anything new?
Nah, nothing new with Jae.
When you're looking at, just want to follow it up with Jae, Monty was wanting to have something, hopefully have something done before the season started. What's the challenge, or what has been the challenges for him?
I just haven't been able to get a deal done. It's the NBA, right? Timing. There aren't any perfect times. Like there's no window where they say, hey, all deals are done here. We have natural deadlines, like the trade deadline, where you usually have a flurry of deals. But other than that, it's just finding the right fit, and we just haven't been able to find that yet.
With that specifically, there's been like a growing sense of urgency from the fan base. It seems like every day that a deal doesn't get done, but that obviously comes with your patience for a reason. Where does that sense of patience come from for you in situations like this, when you'd like to see something done, but you're okay with waiting for the right deal to materialize?
I mean, well, I will always believe in team, and I believe we have 15 players and coaches and staff members that are capable of performing when we need them to. And at the end of the day, like what we're talking about is where we end up, where we finish, not where we start. There are a bunch of different paths you can take on that journey towards the end. So we're just going to be patient and find the best path forward. But eventually something will get done, and when it does, we'll move on to the next challenge or the next decision that people become anxious for us to make.
With Cam Johnson, obviously the deadline to extend him past, he'll be a restricted free agent. Just what are your thoughts on that situation as you approach another restricted free agency in December?
Well, we're not. I haven't even thought about that. We addressed our free agent situation with Cam. We didn't get a deal done, and we agree that he's someone that we love and value. And so there'll just be another conversation going forward. For us right now, it's getting him healthy so that he can return to form and play the way he was playing before he got injured.
And as far as the new guys, Stingley, Lee, Jock Landale, it seems like you were talking about the psyche of this locker room, and they've been really great fits in that regard. How important is that to you when you're evaluating players, and you and Monty having those conversations to make sure that those guys will fit in that way?
Well, if you track those guys and their history and their paths to the NBA, you'll realize that they've displayed a tremendous amount of grit and resiliency just to get here. And so you shouldn't be surprised when they are in situations that require them to show fortitude, and they show up. That's their way of life. That's who they are. And so they just really have a chance to reveal who they are in some very unique moments. And so I'm proud of those guys. I mean, I think if you look at our team, they totally embody what we're about. We're a team that likes to compete, and we like to get after it. And we were a team that wants to wear you down. And I think DeAndre said it best the other day when he's talking about Monty and how we just want to jab, 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 and eventually wear you down. Those guys have had to do that just to get to this point. So for them, that's just the way they live, and that's just another day at the office.
It may be a good thing.
So back to Crowder for a sec. He hasn't played in a while. Does he become less of a commodity as time goes on, or does it stay the same?
You would have to ask someone else. If the way I look at it, that's irrelevant. Jay's a good player, and he'd help any team, and teams know that.
And you're paying him, right?
Yeah.
So there's no rules in
no
the NBA that if a guy's not around, there's probably a number of things you could do, right?
No, that's not what this is. You know,
Right.
this is a mutual understanding agreement that we've said since day one.
Right.
And those factors haven't changed. That dynamic still exists.
Well, I just find it interesting. It may seem a long time ago, but you just really just got here when you finished playing. It was like an immediately get here in your BP and then interim GM. And then has this moved faster than what you envisioned when you first took this? And did you even envision this when you first took this?
No, I didn't come in with any notions of what I would become. I came in to just help the team. And I said, in whatever role that takes, whatever capacity, it doesn't matter. You know, people who know me know that titles are important, but that's not what matters with me. You know, if I walk away with an NBA title, then that matters. Anything other than that is really a reflection of my work, but more importantly, the success of the team. You know, you don't reach these places unless the people you work with or who work for you do exceptional jobs to elevate and push you upward. So I'm just still here to help the team in whatever way possible to reach our goal. And when we do that, I said the NBA title is the only title that really matters to me.
Did you play with or against anyone like Damian, who's on this run in the fourth quarter, where it just seems like every shot he takes is going to go in?
Yeah, I played with some pretty good ones.
Yeah.
But I mean, but he's unique in his own way, right? Because, you know, most of those guys you talk about, the Ray Allens, the Reggie Millers, you know, the Mike Millers, the Dwayne Wade's, like some of these guys, the Kyle Korvers, they've had extended runs where they're allowed to do those things. And so they've developed it over time, and their opportunities they knew were coming. No one expected Damian to be able to have these opportunities except Damian, which is why if you watch him every day, he puts in the work, he grinds hard enough, and he grinds for these moments. So he's unique in that sense that he's a guy that's been thrust into this situation, and he's made the most of it, and he hasn't even flinched.
There's a guy sitting here who's had a knack for it too in the past.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are so much better than I was, though. I always discount myself because I played with some really great players. They made it so easy for me. But I'm telling you, I love the character of our team. I love where we are, and I love where we're headed.
With Luke, it seems like he's taking things to another level even for him as far as doing double teams, putting up career high scoring numbers. Just how have you seen his evolution in your time here from really great player to the face of a franchise and a winning organization?
Well, it's been fun to watch, and it's actually been extremely delightful to see it. Because when I came in, he was a really talented young player who just was dying to win, dying to contribute in any way possible to winning. And now I see a young man who understands that he's the key to an extended run of winning, and he's able to do it from so many different ways: rebounding the ball, defending, shooting, playmaking, inside, in the post, in the mid range, from three, off the dribble. Like, he's become a complete player, and that's just not offensively. He's always had those tools, but from a leadership and defensive standpoint, he's upped his game. And I think that's why he's rightfully in the conversation for MVP, because without him, we're nowhere near where we are today.
Have you been like Monty, where you're getting work done and you hear a ball bouncing and you look out there and it's DA at 9, 10 o'clock, whatever, or he's in the weight room?
Oh, he's been all over the place. He's been all over this building, and it's a joy to watch him mature and grow and figure it out. He understands who he is as a player, and he's starting to understand his value to our team and just in the league. And it's great to see him, Western Conference Player of the Year. I mean, of the week. Hopefully he can do it enough to be Western Conference Player of the Year. But he's been pivotal for us. His force, his aggression, and more importantly, his command of our system has helped him and helped guys like Jock and guys like Damian flourish, because with a big guy like DA and the things he's able to do, he makes it so much easier on the perimeter.
With how long you were a pro and how long you've seen other pros, with the extra time in the weight room that Monty was mentioning, is that just sustaining over the course of the season that he's working on? Like, what exactly can that do for a player when he's putting in?
Well, no, it creates a baseline, a performance baseline. We all know you need reps, right? So as many shots as you can get, that kind of sets the floor for your your ability to shoot. The same thing from a physical perspective. The more you're in the weight room, the more sessions you can get in, the more you can lift. You just raise your performance floor and allows you to sustain it over 82 games, over 110 games, preseason and playoffs. So he's starting to get that. He's starting to mature, which is, another factor. And if he continues to combine those two things, the dedication and the attendance, I mean, the sky's the limit for him.
So as in your mix, as you put a team together, how much of it is analytics, personal, people's bios, interviews? What do you rely mostly on?
A team is a collection of all those things.
Yeah, because you have to put it all together. To
Because
make
it all has to complement,
Right.
all has to work. I think a lot of times in our business, we can get stuck on trying to find some supplemental traits or supplemental factors to add to a group. And I totally believe in being complementary, where you want 5 guys when they step on the court to fill the gaps in the holes of each other so that they're one cohesive unit. And there isn't, a system or a cookie cutter method. You just have to experiment, but you have to bet on people who are willing to adapt and bend to the needs of the team. And we've been able to do that and have some success. And we've been better off for it.
So when you put together a trade, how do you figure it out?
You just think about who's coming in and who's going out, and whether or not what you're bringing in helps the team, very similar to what you're sending out.
You said before on trades that there's 2 ways, that they have to have something that you want and vice versa. So is Jay a unique situation? Is this just unique, or is this
No,
more
I mean,
normal than what I'm thinking?
no, this is more normal than it's just typically these conversations happen behind the scenes. It's just that he's not currently playing. And so it's this is the business of basketball. It's the business of sports. It's the business of trades. But that's the business we're in.